Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Gonna do an interview today. We got special guests reporting to you guys from Chicago. He's known as El Tigre. He'll be fighting Adrien Broner next month on the 18th. How you doing, Adrian?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? I'm doing good.
It's it's going good, man. You're gonna this fight's gonna be. Hold on. All right. It's gonna be a big fight between you and Adrien Broner. Obviously, people have their opinions on it. You guys have your history with each other. What's your overall take on the fight, and just how are you feeling going into that fight?
I feel great. I'm excited. It's gonna be a great fight. That's one thing I could definitely. I know people can feel it, and I know people have an idea of who I am, and obviously everybody knows who
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Broner is. So I mean, it's gonna be a fireworks fight. I feel it's gonna be two talented, two young, hungry bull. I mean, not necessarily even young. We're both in the primes of our lives, in the primes of our career, and it's gonna, yeah, it's just gonna, it's gonna be a great fight. I'm fighting him in his hometown, so I mean, I'm used to that, having to be the underdog or be the B side opponent coming in. So I mean, I'll thrive in this underdog position, and it's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, and you have like a lot of stylistic advantages. Like I believe you have like a 4 or 5 inch reach advantage. You obviously have a ton of great experiences. Like you sparred Marquez. You sparred Ed Brown. The guy was so you sparred Ed Brown pretty much daily. And you've been in there with some of the top fighters in the world. How do you feel that's going to play a role into this fight like Adrian Broner?
I think it's gonna play a good role because it's gonna play a pivotal role because I mean a lot of people, like I said, I mean I've read some of the comments. It's funny, like when people would say, well, "Who's this bum?" or "Who is Adrian Granados?" Like I love it because it's like if you don't really know boxing, you don't know me, dog. I've been in the background. I've been behind the scenes. Yeah, I was in the camp with Juan Manuel Marquez. I mean, I was in camp with Adrian Broner. I was in camp with I even have worked with Devin Alexander, with Terrence Crawford. I fought Kermit Cintron. I fought Felix Diaz. I fought Frankie Gomez. I fought a couple undefeated fighters. Not only the Miri Mom upset that I'm known for, but Mark Salser. He was 15-0 the time I fought on ESPN, and I mean he was 15-0, and he actually never fought again. But yeah, and then once again, yeah, rest in peace to my little brother, Ed Brown. Love that kid. I miss him so much. Also, we have Eddie Ramirez in our gym, who's also another hot rising prospect. We have just a strong stable over at Garfield Park on the west side of Chicago, and we have it's a family there. So I mean, yeah, definitely that was a big blow for us with Ed Brown. But I mean, we're all living for him now, and we pray for him, and we all talk to him in our own ways, and I mean, we all want to glorify him. Nathaniel Gallimore just dedicated his fight; he won by knockout. We have Joshua Greer's fighting next; he's dedicating his fight, and of course, me myself, I'm fighting. I'm fighting to glorify Ed Brown and his life.
And yeah, like you talk about Ed Brown. Talk about that for a second because it's the timing of that is kind of crazy. Like you're you signed for your biggest fight, and then someone that you sparred and you had a good relationship growing up with, kind of passes away tragically. Is there anything you're gonna do like to tribute Ed Brown? Like maybe have something on your trunks and just talk about your whole relationship with him as a fighter.
Yeah, no, that was little bro, man. He it's actually I forgot to mention that name too. But what's it called? David Diaz called him, Ed Brown, and myself to spar him when he was getting ready to defend his title with Manny Pacquiao. So that was when me and Ed actually first really we met when I first started boxing. I was 15 and he was 12, I think. So he was little Ed. I knew him as little Ed. Like he was little, I want to say like 4 feet tall, three something, like little kid, and he was just the coolest. I actually fought one of his cousins. I beat him, but he was still cool. He was working the corner after the fight. He's like, hey man, good fight. And like after that, we just got real cool with each other on the whole boxing scene. We would see each other every day. Um, when I came over to Garfield, like it was I knew I was coming into his home, and that's why he would always call me big bro, like, hey, big bro, hey, big bro. But I would never call him little bro because I'm like, nah, you the chief, you the chief. This is your spot, And he'd be like, be like, oh no, big bro, you good, you the man. And I mean, yeah, it's terrible what happened. I mean, yeah, it's another story of Chicago. You know, I mean, yes, the gun violence here in the city is the truth. It is really bad. I mean, every day when we gotta go to the gym or when we gotta go anywhere in Chicago, we're always praying and we're always asking for protection because yeah, it's just you never know what's gonna happen. I mean, life's too short. Ed Brown is definitely not like he was getting his life together. Like he was taking care of himself. He was going to the gym, being with his daughter, and just staying out of trouble. And it just wrong place, wrong time. I mean the streets, the life of the streets. But I mean, he's a great person and a great man. And I mean, I'll live to the fullest. And I got my own little thing. I'm gonna tribute to him. I just I'll show you guys will see it at the fight. I got something set up and stuff. But no, yeah, long live Ed Brown. I mean, great guy. And like we'll definitely live for him and live in his honor.
Yeah, and you know, as far as Ed, I know you think very highly of him. What kind of fighter do you think he would have became like that never happened?
He definitely would have been a world champion. He definitely would have been a world champion. I mean, he's been fighting since he was like 4 years old. That's all he knew was boxing. And I mean, it's very humbling and heartfelt. My heart melts the first few times I've heard it. I've heard it from his father. I've heard it from his friends. I've heard it from different members that have known him all his life. And they all said that he looked up to me. And man, to actually hear that, like that, he actually looked up to me, like that should, like my heart melted hearing that because it's like this dude was just a natural beast. Like he had godly talent that it's just like he would just box and look great all the time boxing. And like his biggest thing wasn't training. Like he was just so natural that he wouldn't really train, and we would always be on him like, dude, like, and that's when right here towards the last few years, he actually really started paying attention to me because he started seeing the changes that I was making in my career. I was getting, doing the extra work. I would always go the extra mile. And then I would talk to him like a big brother. I'd be like, look, bro, like I don't got the perfect record. I don't got that. Maybe I don't got the best talent, but I'm like, but you better believe that I'm the hardest worker. And I'm like, and a hard worker will beat somebody with talent any day. Like, I'm like, there was plenty of guys in the amateurs that were way better than me, but I beat them just because I outworked them or out hustled them or I had a bigger heart than them. So that's what Ed started realizing. And he started doing it. And he would start like, he would mimic a lot of things that I would do. And he would ask me, like, what do I need to do? And, how should I how should I get better? And he was just always trying to grasp more energy and more knowledge from me, and I would love it because I'm like I was proud to hear that, and I would tell him whatever he wanted. And I would actually the day after he died, he was actually gonna meet with my strength coach and like start going with me to the gym, my other gyms. And I was just like it's just sad that it happened because I feel like he would have became a world champion within a year or so, or like two, like they moved him so fast that I'm like, man, in no time you're gonna be there, bro.
Yeah, he was like the most active American prospect, I believe, of more so than any prospect. He had like 17 fights in 2 years or something like that.
Yeah. He got up to like I think he was 20-0 in like 2.5 years, probably something like that. I think he had 13 fights in I want to say I think 2000 was last year, 2015 probably or 2014. Like he just it was a span of a year that I know he like went like 13, 14 fights like immediately. Like it was knockout after knockout after knockout that they just kept throwing him in. He would fight like once and then another month and then like a couple weeks later, and I was like, damn, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and one thing that was interesting because me and you had a long conversation a couple weeks ago. I'm sure you remember it. You said something interesting to me. You said, um, being that I was with Ed Brown in the gym every day, people don't know I could box and I can get on that back foot. And you know, is that something you maybe plan on showing this fight that you can box?
I'm gonna show a little bit of everything. I mean, I just I like to say I like to feel the fight as it goes, and then I just get into my little chameleon and I'll find out to how to feel it out. I mean if you watch my fights, you'll see I don't fight the same way every time. Like I mean, I throw a lot of punches. That's one thing. Yeah, like I'm gonna do. I'm there to fight. I'm there to win. And obviously, with so many robberies in my career, I'm gonna do is whatever I can to win. So I mean, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. Is you're not gonna worry about me being gun shy. I mean, it's gonna be a great fight. I feel like I'm coming for the kill. I mean, I got mad love and respect for AB. He knows it's nothing personal. Like, I mean, he's actually shown nothing but respect, which I respect back because, I mean, he's a four-division world champion. And I've told people he doesn't have to fight somebody like me, but I mean, he didn't have to fight really Maidana. He didn't have to fight Sean Porter. Like, that's why I give Adrien Broner respect. He's a real champion and he has fought real fighters. So I mean, I'm just, I'm another good fighter that he's gonna face, and I mean, may the best man win. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be a hell of a matchup. It's probably, I'd say, out of all the fights that got made by Showtime, it's the one I'm most excited for. Um, because there are dimensions that you do have. Like people go watch the Felix Diaz fight, there were a lot of instances where you switched southpaw and you were boxing and you were showing different looks.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, like I said, I just feel the fight as it goes. That fight with Felix Diaz, that one I'm really regrettable because I mean he did catch me with a lucky shot. It was a good shot, but what a lot of people don't know, and I'm letting this be known now, I broke my foot in that, when he dropped me. Like I would have came back and came harder, but everybody thought I was hurt that last round. Still, no, I wasn't hurt. I actually had my foot broken. I think even Felix Diaz tried to claim some fame, like oh I need, I beat Adrian Granados. He caught me from the biggest layoff of my career because I was going through contractual issues, and I had the first fight that was offered was Felix Diaz, and I wanted to come back with a bang. But I mean, yeah, like I don't know, yeah, that's a fight that'll probably be made down the road, and I want it because he knows I was beating him, and I was gonna win that fight even with the two knockdowns. I watched that fight 1 to 10 all over again. I'm like him I was beating his ass for 1 through 8, and then the last two he caught me that one shot, and then like this, you go to the scorecards, even without the knockdowns, I would have still lost. I'm like, so what were those guys watching? But I mean, that's not in my control. It's just another treatment of Adrian Granado. That's how they always do me.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that fight a couple of times. You were really putting it on Felix, and honestly, like you said, you got caught a couple times. If you don't get caught, it's probably a different fight. And it's funny because if you watch the fight, because it was a Mike Tyson Productions fight, Mike Tyson multiple times was saying, "Hey, I think Granados is landing the cleaner, harder, more effective shots." He said it multiple times throughout the fight.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's funny because I'm hoping to meet Mike Tyson one day again. He was very awesome, and I knew I impressed him. And I mean, I watched the fight and how he's loving it. And he say, "I got Granados. Granados is winning. Granados is doing this." And that even at the end when he dropped me, he's like, "Man, Felix Diaz desperately needed that." He's like, "Because Granados was taking that fight." And then afterwards, he actually came up to me, and I wanted to talk to him and like, cause dude, Mike Tyson, like I worship that man. That man's the man. But I literally, yeah, my foot was broken, so I'm like, all right, Mike, and I was just looking for a chair so I could sit down, cause yeah, dude, it was bad, and sure enough, it was something in my, but I mean, it healed. I'm good. I'm good. Like, it's nothing now. But yeah, at the time, like it just sucked because I wanted to meet him. I wanted him possibly to save my career because like I've been needing the guidance and the the right management. But I mean, thank God, you know, finally everything is aligned right, and now I got a great team.
Yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, hopefully, Mike Tyson gets a chance to watch this video. Hopefully, guys can sit down and just talk, and maybe he can put you on game to some things.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I would love to, pick that man's brain.
Yeah. As far as this fight, it's funny because I was saying this, and you said this a couple times too, but I've been saying it. They put the fight in Broner's hometown, which is Cincinnati, which obviously isn't that far from Chicago. So could we expect a large contingent of people who are cheering for Adrian Granados to be in the building?
Most definitely. You know how we are. I mean, if it's a Blackhawks game, a Bulls game, a Cubs game, even the Sox, Bears, whatever, Chicago comes full force everywhere. All in my inbox, all on my phone, all in the text message, I'm hearing about groups of 15, groups of 10, groups of 6, groups of 12. Like they're like, "Oh, we're there, bro. Oh, we're there. We're there." Hey, guys, girls, family, friends, everybody's just like everybody's really trying to come out to this fight. All day and every day, I'm getting asked about these tickets. I'm like, "Hey, man, that's in the promoters' hands." I'm like, when they do the public announcement, you guys find your way. And they're like, no, no, don't even worry about it, champ. We just want to know because they're all planning the trips, the road trips, the plane tickets, everything. So I definitely, yeah, I definitely feel like there's gonna be it's gonna be a Chicago force there. We're gonna be known. I mean, I've been, like I said, the stepchild most of the time, but now finally I've gotten to the forefront, and now I'm like the new guy leading the charge. I plan on coming in full force with Chicago, and obviously I love Chicago. That's my city. That's where I was born and raised, and I mean, yeah, man. It's gonna be Chicago versus Cincinnati, so I mean, it's gonna. I believe it's gonna be a ruckus crowd because I mean, Adrian, obviously we know what type of dude he is, and he's out there, he's flamboyant. He brags. He's a dope dude. I get him. I get his style, whatever. But he knows me too. Like, and he knows that I deal with goons and goblins and freaking all types of crazy people. Sorry, I was about to, but I deal with some crazy people up in Chicago, and I mean, yeah, it's Chirac for a reason, and I mean, I've luckily I've kept my head straight and stayed out of trouble in Chicago, and luckily I've been able to make a great career for me. But I mean, it doesn't change of what I was raised around, and definitely like the people I hang with, the thuggish, the gangsters to the athletic um jocks to the freaking nerds. I got all types of people coming from Chicago, and it's gonna be a great crowd.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna make that fight that much more exciting. But Adrian, I don't know. People in the comments are saying that your audio is kind of low.
Oh, okay, okay, hang on,
You
hang on.
turn the audio up a little bit if you can, if that's possible.
Yeah, I got it. Might be. Let's see. Hang on. Let me see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah,
Okay, maybe it'll sound better now. Hold on.
yeah. Anybody in the comments? Does the audio sound any better on Adrian's end?
Yeah, does it sound a little better without the headphones?
I mean, I can hear you better, so I'm assuming.
Yeah, I didn't even realize this light is like really bright too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, like
I just had.
it'll be kind of like
Yeah, it's gonna.
Reds
It's.
Cubs.
Oh no, that's what it is. That is what it is. I mean, it's gonna be Reds Cubs. Obviously we're the world champs right now, so definitely. I'm gonna be repping for Chicago and the Cubbies, just because it's a division rivalry, pretty much, and I mean, it's no, it's a little jab at Ohio. I mean, we did beat the Indians too, so
Yeah, yeah. And the Reds were in last place.
yeah, 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 right, right, right,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
But no, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's a straight up, straight up Adrien Broner versus a straight up Adrian Granados. I mean, it's a Mexican versus a black dude. It's Cincinnati versus Ohio. Like Cincinnati versus Chicago, Ohio versus Illinois, like Midwest, rivalry type stuff. So it's gonna be a great crowd. I'm just excited. I'm excited for everything. We're actually doing a press conference on Tuesday that I'm gonna fly out to Cincinnati for.
okay, so
So
that
yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm hearing about everybody that's gonna be there. I'm hearing gonna be out there, and I mean, even I think Big Bro Floyd's gonna be over there. So it's gonna be exciting. I feel like I think it's just gonna be a great experience for me. I know I'm the rookie here, but I mean, I'm gonna with flying colors.
yeah, and in Adrian Broner press conference, those are known to be kind of interesting events. Like he acts kind of reckless at the press conferences.
Right, right. Well, yeah, that's what I'm ready for anything. I mean, I'm ready if he wants to bring the circus, bring it out. I'm not intimidated of it. But if he's gonna keep it professional like he has been, more power to him. I think usually when there's a more like a more professional type atmosphere, it usually sets up for a better fight, Cuz it's like that respectful buzz that it's like this it's like that anything you could feel the tension in the air that it's just like okay, this is a real fight.
Yeah, for real. And like that's kind of like in boxing, a lot of people like I like the trash talking. The trash talking is always cool, but some of the best fights, like you alluded to, are almost when like you can feel the tension, but they're being respectful about it.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, we'll see what happens, cuz I mean, obviously he's unpredictable. But I mean, like I said, I spent 2 months in camp with him. And I mean, I've seen a lot of the games. I mean, he played a lot of them with me during camp, and I mean, it was a great experience. But I mean, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm ready for whatever. And I'm just like I said, I'm just focused on February 18th. That's all that matters to me right now.
And as far as like, I saw an interview where you were talking about amateur tournaments and how you saw guys like Crawford, Vargas, Garcia. When you saw these guys, Broner as well, how did you feel you measured up to them, and like, just talk about seeing them as amateurs.
Yeah, no, it was great. Like at that time, like I said, I was once again the new kid on the block. I went open after 5 fights, and by the time I started reaching national tournaments, I only had like 20 fights and 30 fights, and but I mean I was getting matched up with guys that were 120 fights, 200 fights, 300 fights. I'm like, okay, it's cool because I didn't lose to all of them, and I mean, even if I ever lost to any of them, I never got wiped out. I never got, I never stood down. I never shied away from a firefight. I always made whoever fought work, and like I said, yeah, seeing everybody like the bigger names because they were all established by then. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, I remember Brad Solomon, Carl Dargan, Jesse Vargas. Adrien Broner, shoot, everybody, and Terrence Crawford as well. I would see them, and it was just like they were just like me. I didn't see them as these. Like obviously, I read the magazines or the articles, and I would know these were very accomplished amateurs. But then seeing it live and seeing the mistakes and seeing when they lost or when they won but they didn't look great, it like gave me some confidence that it's like, okay, I'm gonna be there. Like I'm gonna catch up and I'm gonna be there eventually. And I mean, thank God that I finally got this opportunity. I'm gonna do my best to win the fight, and I plan on coming out with a victory. I'm not going there to lose.
Yeah, for those who have never seen you before, because a lot of people are going to get their first glimpse of Adrian Granados on February 18th. For those that have never seen you fight, like, could you describe like who you are in the ring and just as a person?
Yeah, and the way I fight is just the way I am as a person. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's I'm the way I fight. It's hardworking. It's somebody who fights with his heart. Like, and sometimes I have too much heart. I mean, I've been dropped 6 times, I believe, but I've always gotten up. Even when I was badly hurt once, I ended up coming back and winning that fight by knockout as well. So I mean, I just know that I'm never gonna quit, and know that I get it all the time. I always put on exciting shows, so you're definitely gonna get an exciting fight February 18th.
So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We have a lot of good fights coming up in boxing real soon. Like we have Klitschko, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
Do you have
yeah.
any opinions on that fight?
Um, I think I mean I'm gonna go with the young gun. But you never know because I mean Klitschko he's known to come back from losses and he is a veteran, so I mean he could probably just school the kid. But I mean Anthony Joshua has looked so explosive and so tremendous. I mean maybe it could be a passing of the torch. But yeah, like you said, yeah, there's definitely a lot of big fights. Obviously, the Showtime lineup is stellar. We just watched my big bro, Abner Mares. Abner Mares just won his title back from Cuellar, and what's it called? I'm looking forward to the Frampton Santa Cruz fight. I was there in New York live for that first fight. It was a great fight, and I'm excited for this rematch. Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, two undefeateds. That'll be right after our fight with Adrien Broner and myself. And I mean, I know our fight's a very exciting fight, and a lot of people there's a lot of buzz on it. So I mean, it's exciting to finally be a part of the show and be a part of the talk in boxing. But yeah, man, I'm excited just like you are. I'm a fan before a fighter, so I can't wait for all these fights.
Yeah, you mentioned like the Showtime lineup. Obviously, boxing's in a very interesting place now. I wanted to ask you this question because being that you're a fighter who's come up the hard way, um, you haven't had all the advantages in the world. As far as like boxing, it's always not the cleanest sport in the world. What do you feel like are some things boxing could do to clean up the sport as far as like maybe like the PED problem it has?
Um, I mean, it's doing good now. Now I mean, we do have VADA mandatory for the top 15 in what's it called in with the WBC. I think as far as I mean, it's never gonna change. I mean, it's just boxing. But I mean, we would all us fighters would wish that the negotiations and the business part of it, whether and the legal part of it, that it would just be more straight up, like that things would like not the I hate the side deals or the back or like all everything that's shaved off before it gets to us and stuff. It's just like it's not fair because I mean we're the ones in there risking our lives and obviously all these people. But I do understand that it's a production to make it happen. But I mean it's just I don't know. I feel like we're in a better place now, and I'm just happy that the best fighters are fighting the best again. Like I think it's back to the glory days when it's just like the best are trying to fight the best, and the fans have demanded it where it needs to be that way. So I mean I think it's exciting, and I think we're in a good place right now.
Yeah, like for real. I almost feel like if you look at a couple of the weight classes, like you look at heavyweight, cruiserweight, welterweight, and then like 115 pounds down to the small weight classes, all those divisions are kind of experiencing like a golden age of sorts.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of good matches. There's a lot of good there's just so many fighters, and it's I mean obviously I always say I'm in the red zone, like from, but it's not no knock on any other weight class because every weight class is nothing but beast. But I always felt like maybe like lightweight or lightweight to probably like middleweight. That's like I always felt like that's the red zone because obviously that's where all the greats have been, like and a lot of the biggest fights have always been there. But I mean we there's so many golden ages, but yeah, obviously we're going back to the golden age because like I said, it's like the best fighters are fighting the best again, and that's great, and it's healthy for the sport, and it's good for the sport, and obviously we'll continue to keep our following with that continuing to happen.
Yeah, and it can only help boxing move forward. A couple people in the comment section, they're asking who are some of your sparring partners that you've used for this fight.
Yeah, I've been working with some Samaje Thomas, a hot prospect out of Chicago. Um, also what's it called? Eddie Ramirez is another one. Nathaniel Gallimore. I mean, yeah, these are all younger, strong, strong up and comers. But I mean, we're lining them all up for me. There's a bunch of people coming from the Midwest area that'll just drive out to help, and we do have an open door policy in Garfield Park. Like if you're coming to work, come to work. But yeah, it's I mean, yeah, that's just some. But I plan on flying in a few people, but I'm not gonna release that yet.
Yeah, understandable. What? Yo, your video kind of cut out. I can't. I don't see you.
Yeah, I'm wondering what happened with that. Hang on.
If you look at the top corner, there's like a little camera icon. Maybe you clicked
Yeah,
on it.
hang on. I think it's just my phone was low.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
trying to see if we can see it. iPhone
Okay.
should be good. No, I don't see no camera icon. Oh wait.
Like if you look towards the top, there should be like it'll be like a little people. There's a thing that looks like a person, and then a microphone, and then like a
Hang on.
camera.
I got it. There you go.
Okay.
You got me.
Well, another person asked in the comments. They said, "How far are you away from like 140?"
I'm walking around like I'm probably a little bit less than junior middleweight right now. So I'm
Okay.
like I'd say like 50, yeah, like 52, 54. But I mean, my walk around weight is like 54, 55. The contracted weight is for 142 actually. So I mean that's a strong weight. I'm delighted, and I'm like I was surprised too because I know I think they were asking for a higher weight. I think they were trying to like 45 or something like that. But I'm like nah. I said the highest I would go was 43, and then they just kept pushing for the 45, and then we went to 44. and they put in the contract that 50 days prior to the fight that they'll let us know what the weight's going to be. That it's going to be from 140 to 144. So I expected it to be 144, but he actually came out 142, and I was like, okay, that's good. That was great because I feel like he's training hard and he's training good, and I want the best Adrien Broner. I don't. I know he had his issues. He had his legal issues. He had a couple. Obviously the suicide scare, which I even reached out to his people when that was going on because I was like, nah, dude, you don't wish that upon nobody. And like I said, I was in camp with Buddy, so he was actually a cool dude to me. And aside from all the trash talking and sparring and in training, I mean, he was actually a cool dude. So, but no, like I said, to know that he wants to make it close to the 140-pound weight. I know that he's training hard and he's taking this fight very serious, and that excites me because fighting the best, like I said, that's what I want.
Yeah, well, like even if you look at his interviews, he's looked a lot more calm and reserved compared to normal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I mean, he's a made man. He knows I want what he has. But I mean, I believe he knows he's in a real fight, and I mean, like he said, every fight's a tough fight, and that's very true. And I've always taken the same way. Um, but yeah, no, I appreciate the respect he's shown so far. Hopefully, it keeps coming. If not, I mean, I know he threw out some gamesmanship. I think he said he's like, as far as he said something, he's like, as far as I know, I never met the man. I'm like, all right, bro, that's cool.
Yeah, you caught that too. I thought that was pretty funny when he said that.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody like on my comments and on my feed, they're all like, "Oh, what? He don't know you now? He don't know." I'm like, "Nah." I'm like, "It's cool." I'm like, he's just doing the gamesmanship." I'm like, "It's cool." Like, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm like, I know we met. I'm like, shoot, we've seen each other every day.
Yeah, yeah, for real. One of the guys in the comments asked me. We talked about this already, but I guess we can talk about it again. He said, "How did you size up with Broner when you were his sparring partner for the Maidana camp?"
I mean, I size up well with anybody. I mean, I'm never gonna lay down for nobody. Even when I was training with Marquez, I was only 17 when I was training with him, and I held my own then too. And I always plan on holding my own with anybody. And it's just like I said, it's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, man. Another person asked. They said, "How do you feel about today's top American fighters?"
I think they're all great. I think they're all great. I mean, particularly in my weight class, there's Terrence Crawford. I mean, I've actually met Terrence and we hung out. We sparred but I think it was like a round or two, maybe not much. We actually played ball together too. He was cool. He got me because I was goofing off too much. I kept shooting up threes like a nut, and like I think we ran a game of 32. He got it, and I had 30 points, so I think he got me by two. But I mean, nah, he was a cool dude, and like he was with my management actually the other night. Like they were all just hanging out, and like he's like, and I was like, oh snap! Like I'm like, tell Terrence to say what up, and Shinobi, he's like, yo, tell Adrian I said what up, and like it's a mutual respect there. We know a lot of the same people. Um, and yeah, like I said, he's a great champion. I mean, the Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman fight, that's a great fight. Those are both great, tough competitors. I mean, obviously they were at each other's necks that one night after the fight. That was exciting. I mean, yeah, it's just we're all fighters, we're all testosterone, driven. I mean, you get in any of our faces, we're gonna be the same way. So it's exciting for the sport, man. I'm loving it right now. Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, I know he was going through so much when and even Carl Frampton, he came and he brought it. So he deserved that win. It was a great fight. Leo was going through a lot, but I mean, I know he's not making that an excuse, and that's what I love about him. He's a real dude. And like I said, that we got Deontay Wilder. We have a heavyweight champion. Man, the Charlo boys are doing great. That was a great fight for Jamel, I believe it was. But I mean, yeah, it just it's a good time to see USA coming back. Coming back with a vengeance. And like I said, I plan on joining the party.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Crawford because the whole basketball game. If you guys ever do fight, I guess you know how to promote the fight. You guys can just play basketball again.
Yeah, yeah, we probably should do that because like I said, but he's cool though. He would like because we were trash talking. He's like, "Oh no, bro, that's all we do in Omaha is hoop." I'm like, and I was talking stuff back. I'm like, "Bro, in Chicago, even if you're a nerd, you gotta know how to play basketball." And like, but we were cool. It was all in good fun. And I mean, we were both like off of camp. Like we were both like, I think Hugh was weighing like 165. I was like 160, so we were like some middleweights. And yeah, it was just it was cool. And like we chopped it up. Like we sparred a little bit, but it was nothing. We both got out and like we were just kicking it and just talking. And it was cool just to hang with him. And like I said, we had a mutual friend that it's like we both grew up with. So it was just like we were cool, you know. And like I said, I got mad respect for him, and he's a great champion, you know.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. Someone asked in the comments. They said, and this is kind of a funny question. They said, "How do you feel? Do you feel Adrien Broner training Chris Brown may be a bit of a distraction?"
Yeah, man, I got everybody telling me about that. Nah, I don't think it's a distraction, man. He just, I mean, what they got? I think Soldier Boy's training with Floyd too now, or what? What's going on there?
I believe it was Mike Tyson.
Okay, okay, but I mean, yeah, I seen some interview the other day about Soldier Boy with Floyd, and like he was saying like he's trying to train with Floyd. I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's interesting for I guess for the music industry and boxing industry, you know. But obviously, we're always in cahoots. But I mean, yeah, that ain't good. I mean, because if anything, Chris is just gonna be like he's gonna be a part of the camp, and that's it, you know. But no, Adrian's about business, you know, and he knows like it's a fight that he's got to worry about, and I know he knows me, you know, and he knows I'm coming with it. I mean, he even said it. He knows I'm gonna come in shape, and I mean, I always do, and I know he is too, because I mean, I was in camp with him. He trains hard. I mean, aside from all the side stuff, the party life, whatever, like that man takes care of business when he needs to, and I mean, he showed that. And with the fight with Maidana, he had the tools to beat him. It was just, you know, Maidana put up a great fight. And in those fights, you know, anything goes. I mean, it depends on who's feeling it that night, or what happens, or if you get caught. Like it's just, you know, that's what's gonna happen this night of February 18th. We could both come in the best shape, but I mean, once the lights are on us and we let them things fly, who knows what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, and that's what makes this fight so intriguing.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, I'll see any other questions for people, but uh, being that you're from Chicago, I don't know we talked about this too. This fight is in a position where you could probably fight in Chicago again one day, bring the big fights back to Chicago. How important is that to you?
It's very important. I had went to a fight maybe like a month, 2 months ago. That was when they barely announced the fight, and we fought at the UIC Pavilion, and I had so many barn burners there. You know, I had the fight with Kermit Cintron there. I had an off TV fight with Jimmy Herrera there. That was a barn burner. Like we were tearing each other up. It's like one of the best off TV fights you would ever see. Like, and people even speak to Jimmy and myself all the time. Like, man, that fight was lights out. That fight was crazy. That was like two gangbangers banging it out and just whooping each other's ass. Like, but yeah, me and Jimmy, we're total respectful before and after. We're boys, you know. Jimmy's my guy. But yeah, there was so many fights. There was that. I fought this guy Mike Colbert. He was like 3-0, 4-0, and I was coming up as well, and I beat him. He was tough. I had so many barn burners that were just like off TV, or there would be shows that I would like a fanfare fight would fall off, and then all of a sudden I'm the main event, but we got no big coverage. But like I would still bring a show, and like people would leave like happy as hell, and like it was fun to go back after I got announced my big fight, because everybody was coming up to me. All these people were talking to me, kids, you know, adults. Everybody's excited, and everybody was saying, "Dude, you got to bring a fight here. You got." I'm like, "Dude, I plan to," and I'm like, and the days that we were here in the place wasn't even like we had so many empty seats that I want to bring a fight back here where everything is packed, you know. And I'm like, and then I have dreams of graduating from the UIC and bringing a huge fight to the United Center, you know, where the Bulls and the Blackhawks play. Like, you know, I have dreams of bringing a fight. I fought at US Cellular. You know, I'm a Cubbies fan though. I'm like, yo, we got to do it at Wrigley. Like, you know, I wanna fight at Soldier Field or something like that. Like, I love Chicago, man, and You see, I was at the Bulls game the other night. I'm going to the Blackhawks game probably next week sometime with my family. Um, I didn't get to catch a Bears game, but I mean, I didn't really want to catch a Bears game this year. But yeah, no, man, I mean, I love my city, and like I said, this is always gonna be home to me.
Yeah, and honestly, I've only been to Chicago twice. It's a great city. I'll probably be there again in June, so hopefully I see you there.
For sure, definitely, man. You better get at me when you're out
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I'm gonna try to go to the gym with you. We'll do something.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I got you. I got you. I have to bring militia with you though. We got to keep you safe.
Who, Melissa? Who's Melissa?
No, a militia.
Oh, Melissa. I
Yeah. You
feel
already
you.
know, man. Nah, it's all jokes though. I mean, like we do train in the dangerous neighborhood and everything. I mean, rest in peace once again to Ed Brown. He was a product of that environment. But I mean, we go there to do our business, and mostly even everybody in the hood knows what we're there for. They ain't in there. Nobody comes in there to mess with us. They know we're there to box and to go home, and that's what it is. And I mean, thank God for our trainer George Hernandez. He's our godfather. He's like all of our fathers, and he looks out for all of us. And he doesn't take no riffraff. And yeah, you'd love to come to Garfield.
Nah, for sure I would, because I like going to I like experiencing boxing anywhere, but being that Chicago has had so many great fights, you guys have a lot of good fighters there. You mentioned the other guy you sparred with, Ed Brown, who used to train with you. I just to be there and to take in your guys' environment and all that stuff that I'll really be honored to. So
Yeah, of course, man. We have a good time. I mean, there's. I'll show you the good and the ugly of Chicago.
yeah, no doubt. One person asked, they said, "Have you seen the Porter versus Broner fight?"
Yeah, of course. I seen that live. I've watched it again. Yeah, everybody, they're all saying, I fight like Porter or like Maidana. We all fight like ourselves. I mean, Porter fights like Porter, Maidana fights like Maidana, Granados fights like Granados. Um, they did what they had to do to beat Adrien Broner, and I'm gonna do the same. Will I do some similarities? Yes. Will I do some differences? Yes. So it's just like everybody has their own style. Um, you know, um, they had their ways to winning, and I had my ways to winning, just like Adrian had his ways to winning. I mean, he's a four division champion for a reason, and I know that, and I'm going in being ready for everything.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good fight. I'm kind of ended here. Any messages to the boxing world, your fans, people out there?
Yeah, thank you everybody for all the support, good and bad. I mean, cause yeah, like I'm loving the talk, I'm loving the reading the comments. I mean, I'll be on the internet. Like I'm not very vocal on my Twitter or Instagram, but I'm on Facebook all the time because I've been had my Facebook since it was hot, like back in like oh 01, oh 02. Like that was when it was barely starting. But I mean, yeah, I like reading all the YouTube comments, all the YouTube channels that are all taking their picks and dissecting their fight, and like I said, I love all the attention. I love all the respect and even the disrespect. This is good for boxing. Like I said, may the best man win. But you guys already know, Adrian El Tigre Granados. I don't lay down for nobody, and I'm coming with it. And I'm coming to bring home that victory from Chicago.
All right, so there you have it. Adrian Granados, Chicago's finest, going to be fighting Ron on the 18th. Make sure you guys tune in. It's going to be a great one. Definitely probably a barn burner. And yeah, Adrian Granados, thank you for talking to True School Sports. We'll have you on probably after the fight.
All right, sounds good, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.